everybody. So welcome back once again. Last session, you all braved the trials of the Valley of Heroes, the trials of courage, wisdom, and honor. The trial of courage prompting you all to take a kind of a leap of faith, to throw caution to the wind at some times, but at other times remain cautious, but still charge forward, then leading to a trial of wisdom that had you take the more dangerously seeming path in exchange for the easy way, and proving it to be the wiser choice before meeting a group of traveling goblins who, upon asking for your assistance and getting it from you all, made your journey considerably easier for you. Up until you finally found yourselves before a door standing in the middle of an open field, in this strange, dreamlike place that Balanis had gotten so close to. Behind the door was the legendary figure Murtal, locked forever in his fight against himself and his own honor. You all were there to get the chains of Murtal from him, a legendary artifact that he would bestow upon those that he found worthy, even though sometimes he didn't find himself worthy of holding them. He challenged you all to a sparring match, and after a brief but brutal battle, you all proved yourselves worthy to carry his weapons, and so, honored to do so, he passed the chains of Murtal to you all. After leaving, with the chains that you came here for, you all began to make your way back to the campsite that your guide, Tantul, had set up at the mouth of the valley. When you arrived, you saw him nowhere to be found. The camp seemed empty, abandoned. But once you approached, you found that an ambush had been laid. The Margul tribe of goblinoids here in Dargoon, the tribe that was actively working against the wishes of the Lesh, the king of Dargoon, attacked you all in retaliation for a slight that you all had done them back in the Bloody Market, but also for your foiling of their ambush on an Orient trade caravan making its way into Dargoon. The battle was brutal and chaotic. Magic being flung at you from high places while goblins rained down arrows upon you, while bugbears and hobgoblin warriors charged through the thick of the battle. Eventually, an ally arrived to aid you all, somebody that you all met on your way to the Valley of Heroes to take these tests. A hobgoblin woman who had also been searching, but was honored that someone else had found them, at least somebody that seemed worthy to do so. Nonrot helped you all, and with her assistance, you were able to turn back the tides and eventually slay the chieftain of the Margul tribe. That is where we pick up today. You all are still on that same battlefield, recuperating from that battle.
Second wind.
It's third wind.
Right.
Those cracks were not there when this started.
Yuji will use lay on hands, and then because he was worthless that fight. Did we get him? Oh Jesus!
Nonrot would walk over towards you and extend a hand. In kind of like a gesture of camaraderie, and say, "We certainly did. Well fought."
That's the Shadow Monk, right?
Yes, it is.
I'll reach out and take their hand and have them help me up and be like, I didn't do any fighting. I got my ass kicked.
You lived. Some would call that a victory in itself.
That smite was pretty impressive.
Yeah, do you think that was the head of the beast?
She turns towards you, and Nonrot nods and says, That was indeed the so-called Lesh of the Margul. Odrak Bosch, I believe his name.
That's the name we heard.
She nods and says, Lesh Harum will be very pleased to hear of this. Very pleased indeed. Such a potent rival out of his way. And without even having to march to war himself. I expect word of this will reach him long before you return to Rukon Draw.
Do you think that will make those who are guiding the lightning rails and others safe to travel?
She nods and says, this does not constitute the entirety of the Margul tribe, of course, but they are now leaderless. Fane is bold and powerful, but he is no leader. The Margul will be without a head for quite some time.
They will fight amongst themselves until one rises to the top, I suspect.
Hopefully that'll take quite some time. Maybe others will just decide that it's not worth the trouble, and now with him being removed, we'll no longer have the fear, maybe, of doing the right thing.
Speaking from experience, I highly doubt that's the case. The Emerald Claw are still a major thorn in everyone's side.
We can hope. They're just likely just to be as upset with us for embarrassing them again.
No doubt.
Hope they think twice.
You all
That was
hear
very
some
kind of you
rustling
to help
around
us.
in the tent.
Yeah, go cut him loose.
Oh yeah. Thank you for the reminder. Forgot all about him.
Yuji will go over to the Margol leader, I can't remember his name, and roll him over to take a good look at him.
Odrak Bosch.
Odrak Bosch. Indeed,
That
he
one.
is quite dead, for starters. Yeah, he is well armed and armored. I wouldn't call his armor fancy in any way, but it is extremely efficient and yeah. What would you like to look for?
Still serviceable?
His breastplate is serviceable.
Well, that takes out that. So I guess knowing that his weapons are serviceable, anything that would distinguish him. You know, like I have my signet ring. Does he have anything of value in his pockets or any magical weapons or items?
As far as distinguishable goes, he does wear his horned and spiked armor, identifying him as a leader of the Margul. That would be certainly distinguishable. Aside from that, he doesn't carry any magic on him. Double check.
What about the little magic chuckers?
Yeah, the sorcerers are certainly likely to have something of value on them, perhaps some scrolls. Among the scattered bodies, you do find a spattering of potions, mostly healing potions that didn't get a chance to get used, but among them, let's see what else.
We'll definitely pull all of the bodies together, and I would like if we could maybe put them on one of the carts that we have. We can take them back to the city and let them decide what to do with them. But I think it's probably meaningful to have evidence that
I can sure take the leader's head if you want to take that back.
Yeah,
with you.
I mean,
heads normally work.
And I would say just ask Nanrod what the custom in Dargoon is. I mean, it's the custom.
You're all the
leave them when
goblin
they
speakers.
fall.
I don't know.
Tinge is gonna cut Tantul out of his bindings while everyone's doing that stuff.
I already said that. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't hear you say it. I heard everybody acknowledge that he was in there. I didn't hear anyone say that he was actually going.
Yeah, I said I went to cut him loose. So.
Okay, so yeah, he immediately pops up. and says, "Hours! Hours I've been tied up like this. By the gods, at least they didn't cut my head off immediately." Oh, well, you've all certainly done well for yourselves out here. I was hoping I wouldn't have to do any cleaning up myself.
That answers my first question. It's only been hours.
Yep. We haven't been lost in the Fae for a year or more.
Okay.
So, you said we found some potions and some other stuff.
While that's going on, Yuji will go over to Nero as he passed on and look pretty sad, and stroking his mane, be like, "As you have fallen, so too you will rise again." And then I'll walk away from it.
Nice.
I just got my horse and he's already dead.
He looked dead already.
How can you tell?
Before he was moving?
Just gonna say, he doesn't seem to be moving very fast now, does he?
Is anyone still in need of wound tending?
Kay is still like dripping blood on the ground.
As are we all.
Yeah. Let's see. I have one level 1 slot left.
You all do find 4 potions of healing and 2 potions of invisibility.
Ooh, 12.
Potions of invisibility, each being on the spellcasters.
All right. So
More things to sell.
Who was that? Cure wounds on? Was that on Tinge or was that on Kay?
Kay said he was dripping with goo, so.
Yep.
4 potions of healing, 2 potions of invisibility.
I'm gonna take one of those potions of healing.
Okay. To drink or to have?
To have as a
Not
backup.
that it matters.
Yeah.
Okay. 3.
Yeah, if it
I
looks
guess
like we're
everyone
willing to
take
count.
1.
That's
I do have 5 HP for lay on hands if anyone wants that too.
Hey, that'll take me up to double digits.
Gonna grab my water from the room. 2
you
seconds.
were at single digits and you didn't cast that cure wounds on yourself?
Why would I? I'm a giver. Oh, and I never got to drink a potion, that potion of superior healing. Guess that worked out.
If there's no complaints, I am going to put one of these potions of invisibility in my pack.
Go for it.
That's fine.
Does anyone else want one?
I can technically cast it if I ever prepared it.
Yeah, but potion invisibility, you don't have to concentrate on it.
Good for like an hour.
Why don't you take it then, Dimitri?
Okay.
Since you could have some use for it. I don't think Yuji would want to be invisible.
Probably wouldn't last long.
Well, all right, everybody.
Still greatly injured. I have a scroll. I have 2 scrolls of cure wounds as well.
Oh, actually, should we offer one of those potions of invisibility to Nonrod?
She
Okay.
would kind of glance over towards you and say it's not necessary as she kind of takes a step back out of the firelight and vanishes and reappears behind a tent. She can stay out of sight if she needs to.
Tinge followed the movement the whole time.
With his blind sight, yes.
Except that she disappeared from one place and appeared somewhere else. Is that that what you did?
That is what you did.
Yeah.
I'm
The
assuming
shadow
it's like,
step.
yeah, like or gloom. I was assuming it was like Gloomstalker type. If you
Misty
hide
Step,
in the
right?
shadows.
It's kind of like a shadow step ability from a Shatterkai, where they can move between shadows. It's kind of like that. It's a unique ability for this NPC, I think.
It sounds like it's the same as the Way of Shadows monk feature.
Mm-hmm.
Right, that would be the comparison.
Then Tinge is confused.
Wahaha.
Yeah, teleports along with any equipment wearing or carrying up to 30 feet to an unoccupied space you can see. Both spaces must be in dim light or darkness.
Yeah, because Tinge doesn't understand disappearing from one spot and appearing in another at all.
Nope, just trading places.
Did we find any coins or anything like that? Anything spendable that we should on
I
these
don't
guys,
think
or are
many of
they?
them would have carried coins or anything like that.
Yeah.
But Odrak Bosch likely would have been carrying some finery or jewelry on him. Probably gems and things like that in his pouch. So go ahead and roll a d20, multiply the result by 10, and that'll be what you find on him.
While that's occurring, can Yuji kind of like investigate
Nice.
this? Ooh, that's a good roll. Investigate the scene to see how they were tracking us down or how they were able to locate us so quickly. Because right, we were only in the Fey realm for what, a couple of days.
Yeah. Go ahead and make an investigation check.
Yeah, we did kind of identify ourselves. I'm sure people were talking about what happened in Wukong Drawl as well.
And that is exactly what you find evidence of. There are descriptions and rough sketches of you on a couple of them. It appears that people in Wukong Drawl tipped them off to where you were headed.
Is there a name on any of those descriptors?
There is not.
Smart informants.
So that's 50 gold pieces each for us. But I do offer my cut to Non-Rot. She and her band saved us back there.
Absolutely.
She would respectfully decline and say that her Acha demands that she assists whenever she can, especially against those like the Marvel. She thanks you for the gesture, but again, respectfully declines.
No problem.
What is your perception of what we should do with them? Should we leave them here to rot or take them with us? My preference would be to take them to be buried appropriately. But
She says,
I'll respect whatever you say is right.
She says that according to her people and her customs, they're owed nothing. So whatever you decide is more than they would likely deserve, according to them and their customs.
A votes for leaving them where they lie.
Yuji half agrees with that and would make the argument we take the armor of the leader as a show of evidence and force. Offer it up to the leader of the group.
We
Yeah,
really want to
disagree.
have an audience with the Lesh of Dargoon.
No, make the Shadow Monk do it.
Yeah, if she wants to take it and show evidence, I'm fine. I would just as soon.
Hell no,
leave
I don't want to go in
Dargoon.
front of the king. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
get out of here.
We are carrying an artifact that.
Mission accomplished as far as I know
Yeah.
right now. We need to go home.
Yeah,
My shoulder says, no more fighting.
Well, I would vote for a long rest here before we do anything else, or at least maybe a couple hundred yards away where it doesn't stink.
I think that's fair. I think that we deserve an opportunity for rest, and this will give us a chance to maybe spend some time with Non-Rot and her companions, I think it would be best for us to rest together for safety.
Non-Rot agrees, gathers her companions, and says that her and her people have their own campsite about a quarter mile from here. You all are welcome to follow them to it, and welcome to their fire for the evening.
Sounds good. I assume that Tantul has a cask of ale on one of these wagons.
He is already in his cart with it in his lap.
He's earned it at this point. So
Let's go.
All right.
Drink ale and sing songs and
Forget tonight ever happened. Well, the bad parts.
All right. Tantul congratulates you all and shares the ale with you, saying that this is certainly a night to celebrate. You all have ingratiated yourself to... She says after she has a few drinks, she would make several toasts like this, standing up and toasting and saying that you all have made allies of the greatest nation on Corvair, and things like that.
Yuji would immediately be like, I don't know about
Should we tell her that we have the chains?
Nope.
I think she deserves that.
In the morning.
In the morning.
I agree with that. I was gonna say, I mean, I guess you're right. Like, there is some cultural heritage to the chains, correct?
And she told us before, and I believed her when she said that
no.
if we were chosen to receive them, then she wouldn't stand in our way.
right. No, we should tell her that we were successful, and I would do so.
When we settle down and are just sitting around the firelight, I would call the party around me, and would you be okay if I show her? This may be her only chance to lay eyes on them in her lifetime.
I think we absolutely should.
Finge,
In the morning.
they look so good by firelight.
Tinge is afraid there might be a fight.
We're all broken.
I think by now we've had a short rest.
That only helps half the party, I'd like to point out.
Hey, that gives lots of hit points back, maybe.
I don't think it would turn into a fight anyway. So
I think Yuji would be resistant, but on the same hand, respect that if Dimitri feels it's right, then I don't think he'd get in the way.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll my hit dice for a short rest, and then 1, 2. Yeah, that's good enough. Then I'll say, non-rot. We would like to show you something from our time
before
in the
you
Vale.
finish, and you say that you would like to show her, she does cut you off and say the chains. I was wondering when you find it fit to tell me that you'd found them.
Well, we've been a bit busy, but we think that we'd be honored for you to look at them.
She said
and I will pull them out of my bag.
She nods and says they are magnificent. Tell me of the battle.
It was likely. It was likely what you would have expected from a great warrior. We thought foolishly that he wished to challenge us one one person at a time. But he boasted that that wouldn't be a fair fight, and I have to say, I think that would have been true. It would not have been a fair fight for us to have challenged him one at a time. He did things with a chain that I don't think that anyone else probably could have. And I see why he was your great champion of old.
The stories do not do him justice.
She nods, says, "Oh yes, they certainly do not. And he would have indeed dragged any one of you in individual combat through the dust. I know. I've faced him myself. And I was arrogant enough to think that I could face him alone."
You faced this image of him as we did?
She nods. And two completed the task of courage, the trial of honor. Or the trial of wisdom, but I could not succeed in the trial of honor. My pride would not allow it. If I'd known that I couldn't face him alone, perhaps. But I charged recklessly into battle. I was young. I was young then. But that's why I've come back with my brothers. My brothers in arms, that we may face him together, and perhaps succeed as you have succeeded.
Even though the chains are gone, you will still face the trials again?
As the chains are a symbol. They exist here no more than they need to. If I was to face Murtal, they would exist for me as they need to. That is the magic of them. They both exist and do not. They are both in our world and forever bound to the ones.
I am glad to hear that.
Yuji would point out to watch out for the chain sweep. There's a big pack there to deal with.
Pinge would point to a crack in his shin and go, "He did that to me when I kicked him."
And from experience, you may have noticed I prefer not to be up close and personal. Although that might have been challenging to notice this last battle because I didn't really get to be away from things. But it did not matter. Distance was not an issue.
This actually brings up a good point and question. That's a big segue here. Do we feel that the Margol is going to continue to go after Dimitri? Or do we kind of get rid of that problem?
So,
I think we've at least set them back on their heels, but
yeah, the Margol are leaderless now. They have no organization. The idea of a leaderless band of tribes people up in the hills being able to stand against any of the houses is unlikely at this point. Their leadership was their strength, right? Like any big mob like that, their leadership is their strength. So without it, it's unlikely.
There is the possibility that 1 or 10 may be mad at us still.
Right. The likelihood of coming across a Margol and them being pissed at you if they figure out who you are is very high, but the likelihood of you coming across them in any sizable force now is equally low.
I never was concerned for their potential vendetta with me. My concern is that people just like, hold on, gotta find the name. No. Marcus.
yep,
who-
Marcus.
Who died simply for helping to do his job, what he was born for. He was born with a mark and found a way to make use of that to make other people's travels safer and connect different parts of our land, and he was killed for that simple fact. And I couldn't allow that to continue. Not to mention that these, on top of all of that, they trade in slavery.
So Tuntul's looking at you very introspectively as you're speaking about that. and she, after a brief moment and a brief pause, as she's looking at you appraisingly, she says,
Non-rot or Tontool?
I'm sorry, non-rot.
Okay.
Did I say Tontool?
Yes.
Sorry, I meant non-rot. But she's looking at you very, very pensively. She's obviously understanding something about you that she didn't before. And she nods and says, I would not have expected it from somebody of the posh upbringing we assume that you all have. But your sense to your duty is strong. Perhaps as strong as those of us of the Dargoon. She raises her glass again and says, to Marcus, and all those who have fallen doing their duty.
Dimitri will find a glass and pour some, and then toast to Marcus.
I think this would be one of the few opportunities where Yuji would also take a drink.
Woohoo!
It's a whole lot of reminiscing with doing their duty and his duty to his home country.
Tinge
Where
with
does it-
toast, but
Where
not
does
drink.
it go?
Where does it go? Tontool leaning, I'm not sure that's entirely appropriate to ask.
Yuji just kind of shrugs and, I don't know, comes out the other end, I guess.
Truer words have never been spoken. It's one of the many things that binds all of us together.
The inner workings of an undead paladin's digestive system.
It's exactly what I meant. Never change, Kay. Never change. I'm trying to remember. I don't think we've had up to this point any of the other Dragon Mark that we've traveled with. I don't know that any of them have died.
Nope.
I marked them out on my notes when they die. So okay, I think we're good.
All right, everybody. So, as the night goes on, more stories of past battles, past experiences are shared, finding that you all have much more in common with Tontool, Non-Rot, and Non-Rot's brothers than you might have anticipated. We'll go ahead and move on to the morning, and you all can move on to level 6.
Woohoo!
Oh.
What? Pew pew pew!
I think right before dawn, Yuji would wander off and cast Summon Steed and bring Nero back and then ride him back to the camp.
Got it.
Just so you know, I'm taking Pact of the Tome.
Pact of the Tome. Okay, cool.
Ooh, I get two new infusions.
I get mad.
I get mad. That is awesome. Yep.
There's some of these I don't even recognize.
It's my favorite.
I've only been talking about my thing for, weeks, so everyone should know I get the aura by now.
Yup.
Right.
Do you get an aura?
Yeah. Wild, I know.
Nice.
And I get new spells.
Always good.
And get rid of a spell. Even though I actually finally found a use for it in this last combat. But bye-bye.
Nice. Whilst you all are leveling up, has anyone checked out the Black Flag playtesting yet? I have my
Not yet.
email sitting in my inbox.
I got emails about it. I was gonna look at it later tonight and tomorrow.
Nice. Yeah, I've also got the email just sitting in my inbox. I'm definitely gonna take a look at it. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. Too busy learning fucking Pathfinder. I was so close to finishing learning Starfinder too, and then my Wednesday group's like, we want to play Starfinder. I'm like, well, shit.
Yeah, and they are very different.
They are. I thought they were going to be very similar. They are very different. Starfinder is much closer to Pathfinder 1E.
Yep.
But I gotta say,
that's what I've
Pathfinder
heard.
2E is much more streamlined, which I like and appreciate.
I heard they're working on a Starfinder 2.
I would probably call it like a 2.5, right? They have too much content that they've just released to Switch anytime soon. I was following the
have
Reddits.
they?
They're thinking like 2025 will be the earliest we see any new additions. To
Oh, okay.
Starfinder. Just because it's only been around since 2018, you know, like it's still
Yep.
relatively new. I think it's 2018.
I
think-
am leveled up.
I think Yuji might like this to help with survivability. Hold on. It's an infusion I can take.
Noise.
After
Well,
our
it's
last
like the,
combat, I was wondering if you're going to take the infusion that like lets you use your intelligence instead of strength on strength checks.
I know, it feels like it's only occasionally going to be helpful though.
It's one of those
I know.
things where it's not helpful often, but when it is, it's very helpful.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I also have repulsion shield, which would be like if he misses me with an attack, I can shove him back 15 feet. Or no, after I'm hit with an attack, I can shove him back 15 feet. So no saving throw, just boop, get away from me 15 feet. So that could have been helpful too.
Leveled up.
Nice, nice.
Same.
Almost.
Barbarians do.
Ooh, and I get a new. No, I don't. Never mind.
When everyone awakes and they look at Tinge, his eyes will be even more brightly purple.
Ooh, I have
Oh,
tool
baby.
expertise now.
And Tinge, you just seen during the night K go off and like he's gonna meditate and his echo is summoned and it looks like he has a long conversation with his echo.
Did you change race now?
No, not quite.
Oh.
One more level. But that was me getting my Book of Shadows for the Pack of the Tome.
Gotcha.
Noise.
I'm leveled up, but Sean, could you update the macro bar for me?
Yeah, you got it. If everyone just wants to drop their tokens out somewhere around our group token, I would appreciate it. I can upgrade everyone's macros.
I don't need any macros.
Word.
I just need a rage button.
I just need a rage button. All right.
Roar!
As someone who's played Barbarian a lot, it's awesome. I love it.
So you will have to go back in and trim down your token actions. They will all appear when I'm done with this, but your new ones will be up.
Excuse me.
Okay, you're all set. All three of you. You should now see a massive list. Just go ahead and... Oh, Tinger's didn't seem to take. 1 second. There we go. You all remember how to trim those down?
Yep.
Nope, remind me.
Alright, so you're going to open up a character sheet, and then you're going to go over to the
Yep.
section on the top tabs, like where it says character sheet, bio info, attributes, and abilities.
Uh-huh.
Attributes and abilities, everything with a check mark next to it is going to show up along your top screen, so you just get rid of everything.
Oh,
that you
got
don't
it.
want in there.
Alright, cool. Thank you.
Are there any trees in the area at all?
Yeah, probably some lone standing trees, kind of like the Joshua trees, kind of just standing out by themselves in the middle of open waste.
Sorry, I asked the question. You started talking, and my internet blipped.
Yes, there would be lone standing trees scattered around.
Okay. In the morning, Kay would walk over to where those trees are and find a serviceable club-like piece of wood.
Nice. Okay.
Shove it through his belt, take his rapier off, and give it to one of Non-Rot's companions.
Okay,
I'm
what
not sure what's
exactly are
going
you
on,
giving
but
him
I'm
again?
super excited.
His rapier.
Oh, you're giving one of them your rapier.
Uh-huh. Very good weapon, but I don't need it anymore.
And just would look at
So-
you and just like start taking things out of various places and being like javelin, longsword. Eh?
Eh? All right. So
Yuji
with the
would match
rapier,
that,
the
attitude.
one of the large armored hobgoblins that is with Non-Rot would kind of look at it, say, "Thank you very much for it," and say that his little niece would like it very much as he picks his time
Hello.
And that's fine.
with it.
I
Fantastic.
knew something like that was going to be coming. I knew it.
And then Kay casts Shillelagh on the stick and like breaks a log with it.
He says, "I would like that."
Dimitri will go over to Yuji. Yuji, you trust me, right?
With whatever dust remains in my body.
Okay. Take off your armor, please.
Whoa. I think Yuji would.
Okay.
Takes him forever.
Takes him
Yeah.
forever, 10 minutes.
Dimitri
right?
will help.
Or doffing
I mean, you know.
is only 5, right?
I think it's heavy armor. It's 10, isn't it?
I think it's 10 to put
Alright.
on.
And then
Yeah, I
Dimitri
mean-
will sit down with it during his daily preparations and do some tinkering with it, like screw on some things that don't look like they have anywhere to actually attach, and then bang out some dents in there and do all that good stuff, and then give it back. And there will be like a sort of a cog wheel shape on the upper right breastplate that really only shows up if you catch the light with it. It said, "This should help."
A fortified defense
Yuji
armor.
would
Yes, fortified
bow
defense.
and then you take the armor back.
So after we put it
So-
on, you get +1 to your AC, and then as a reaction, if you get hit by a critical hit, you can spend 1 charge and turn it into a normal hit instead.
Dope. You hear that comment? You have to hit me twice now with crits.
No, you get 4 charges.
Challenge
Oh, you get
accepted.
4.
Challenge
Wow.
You
accepted.
get 4 charges, and daily it regains 1d4 charges.
I gotta write this down here. Fortify armor.
It's in the chat. I pasted it in the chat.
Oh, thank you.
I think you probably, well, I don't know. No, I guess not. Thinking it might be like an actual item
Yeah,
or something like that, but it is not.
Yeah. I know in D&D Beyond, and if an artificer uses one of those infusions, like all the abilities are in their character sheet, but
Yep.
they can't like give it to somebody. It doesn't. There's no like item that somebody else can just equip that's equivalent to some of those infusions.
Yep.
Just adding it under my character skills. Manually doing it.
Yeah, so your AC is going to be up by 1, irrespective. And then, in addition to that, you have the 4 times before you have to redo it. Or before, 4 times a day. Can negate a crit.
Awesome.
Cool. Ready?
All right. So we've just assumed that you've all been traveling during this time, taking the several days up the river that it takes to get back to Rukon Draw. Is there anything that you all would like to do or accomplish during that time? Nonrot and her guys would remain behind at at the valley. They still have work to do, of course.
Yep.
No, I don't think we have anything else we need to do here.
Which
No.
days, though, you said?
Yes, days worth of travel.
I guess. Oh, then I can finish learning. I need to finish learning Celestial.
Nice.
I can help with that.
Yep. How long? How many days will it be?
Forget what we talked about. I believe it was a certain amount of weeks of practice, right?
Oh yeah, no, I only need one more week.
Okay.
I'm just trying to.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, sorry. It would take about, let's see, I think we said about 3 days.
And I would be helping him
Yeah, 3
the
days.
entire time, so
All right.
Yeah, you all traveled along the Gull River from Rukon Draw north to this here, which is, in retrospect, a little close to the Markle Pass, but that's where it was.
Well, you know, wonder why we ran into them.
Yeah.
is there a reason why we're heading back to Rukon Draw and just not heading north to the Marco Pass and out of here?
To get back on
Caravan.
the lightning rail.
If-
Yeah, I'm sorry, the
Yeah,
caravan.
yeah,
Yeah,
caravan.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
the travel
well-
the travel on horseback from where you're standing
It's a while.
is a long, long ride.
Yeah.
64 miles on the 64 miles a day on the standard coach compared to the oh no, it's 40 miles a day compared to 24 that you can do on your own. So it's up to you.
Yeah. Nah, that's fine. Back to Rukon Draw.
And don't we have a contract to protect them?
We clearly need it. Is Min going to be traveling with them?
Last
we
you heard,
discussed
she
that
was
she
she
had-
was getting a job aboard the caravan. Yes.
Gotcha.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah. All right, everybody. So, several days travel go by, and you all do find yourselves back in Rukon Draw. And as predicted by Nonrot, people are definitely as you begin to kind of enter into the outskirts of town, you can see the farmers and the little villages that you pass by. People are already kind of leaning out and leaning into each other to kind of whisper towards you all, or whisper about you all to each other as you pass by.
So it's known that we took out the Markul leader, not just that
That
he
he's
has
dead.
been taken out.
Oops.
That's fine.
So yeah, you all are definitely being noticed, and as you all approach the outer walls, you find that the guards are kind of giving you, a few of them, not all of them, but a lot of them are kind of giving you brief nods of respect as you pass by them.
I give respectful greetings to them, one warrior to another, as we pass through.
All
I think Dimitri would probably be avoiding eye contact.
right.
Very uncomfortable.
And just staring them down.
Nice.
Exact opposite.
A couple of them seem mildly unsettled by Tinge staring at them. But yeah, not before long, you all are back into the city of Rukon Draw.
I guess we'll make our way to the caravan area. Right?
Yes.
Yep.
All right. So yeah, It's easier for you all to get lost here in the city. People are still noticing you, but it's not nearly as much as out on the countryside when you were literally the only thing to look at for miles and miles. But yeah, people are still definitely paying some sort of attention to you. And before long, you hear someone shout out from behind you. They shout in the Dargoon language. Greetings, outsiders. Welcome back to Rukon Drawl.
Return.
Yes.
Behind you all is an entourage. There are 6 of the wolf-pelted goblins, and about a dozen armed and armored hobgoblins. They are all wearing ceremonial-style armor, and they are standing in a rigid formation. The goblin who called out to you hops off of his wolf and begins striding over towards you all. He stops right in front of you, Dimitri. He has to look straight up towards you. He stops maybe about a foot away from you.
We don't mean any trouble. We'll be leaving.
Oh, you've caused about as much trouble as you could possibly cause, haven't you?
It was only that one thing, and they attacked us first.
Make an insight check.
Oh no, this is not.
I was like, which time? Oh my god.
I know. It was true for all of them, though, wasn't it?
It was true.
Dimitri, this goblin is clearly messing with you.
Fucking with me.
Yeah. So go ahead.
Dimitri is not used to picking up on things like that, so he will squint at him and then look to the others for confirmation.
You're in trouble, Dimitri.
What?
Oh, so much trouble. And
I'm sorry.
After that, the Dargoon honor guard behind him starts to tap their glaives into the dirt rhythmically, and he takes a step back and he says, "In honor of your diligent service to the nation of Dargoon, the Lesh has seen it fit to commend you all." And he pulls a package from behind his back. He says, "You have proven yourselves to be loyal friends of Dargoon and of our Lesh. He has seen this." He hands it up to you, Dimitri. It's a wrapped bundle. It's wrapped in a wolf pelt.
He looks beet red in the face and very uncomfortable. Thank you. We didn't need anything like this. You're very kind. Your Lesh is very kind. Oh, and he will start speaking Goblin. I mean, your Lesh is very kind.
So, he would go on to tell you that you all prevented a war that was brewing for quite some time. A war that would have cost the lives of thousands, if not tens of thousands, of his people. They say for that there is no repayment that is high enough, no payment good enough. But they hope that this symbol will let others know that you are a force to be reckoned with and that your Asha is unmatched.
I will hold it out to the group, to the party. What should I do? Look to Nonrod. Is Nonrod still with us?
No, Nonrod's saved.
Nonrod's
It's
stayed
valid.
back.
Oh, that's right. Tantul, is he with us?
Tantool's, yeah. Tantool leans forward and says, "You may want to start with opening it."
Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say, what is it?
Dimitri's looking around for holding onto this wolf pelt wrapped package, trying to look for somewhere to set it because figuring putting it on the ground probably wouldn't be good. I will hand it back to the goblin who handed it to me to hold on to so I could open it.
I will help.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So as you all unwrap it, it appears the first thing that you see is the skull of some great beast. Is anybody proficient in nature?
I think
And likes rocks.
Tinge likes rocks.
Not yet. Is it a rock?
That's not a rock. So
we literally
it
discussed this
is-
on Discord. How we have a very narrow set of skills here.
Oh, good shit. Okay, so it is a flattened and stylized skull. Like they shaved it down until just the profile, like a flat profile, and the skull is left. And it forms a pauldron / clutch, like it's like a shoulder clutch for a cloak. And attached to it is a blood red cloak that goes about to the small of your back, Dimitri, if you were to wear this thing. But again, he says that it is a symbol. That, and the animal's skull seems to almost be smiling. It's quite clearly a predator, and it looked rather ferocious. So, essentially it's a flattened skull with a cloak, and the skull works as a kind of clutch or pauldron even.
Fancy.
I think we should put it on Dimitri.
It is indeed fearsome.
It's wonderful. I, looking at it with my crafter's eye, I'm suspecting that I see that this was like well made, well intent, high quality.
Absolutely.
Kind of lost in the bone part.
Details and craftsmanship that please the eyes. It's definitely looks nice. So, he says that it is imbued with the spirit of the Dargoon. Any who sees you wearing it will know you to be of the people, and will thus know you to be a force to be reckoned with.
You honor me. Is this for me?
He says it's for any of you that wish to carry it. It is for all of you.
Look at you, Dimitri, fitting in so well.
Thank you. Thank you. That's very kind. I will endeavor to put it on. Awkwardly.
It helps.
UG,
Yes.
the UG history of formal wear and military dress would also help out.
How do I look? He will stand there posing, kind of like he doesn't know what to do with his hands.
Imposing and dashing.
You think so?
Absolutely.
Then he'll give like the big dorky grin. pushes non-existent glasses back up on his nose.
The rock gallery in the background. You look like you just disbanded an entire tribe by yourself.
But that's not true. I
but
shouldn't wear that.
If you wouldn't have kept all the attention on you, the rest of us would have been in a lot bigger trouble.
Yeah, I'm like rub my neck. A lot of attention. I will
You've
look to
earned
Drax
it.
and say,
It suits you.
well, thank you. You did good, guy. I will bow as formally as I can to the goblin that gave it and whoever's been doing the talking. You must tell Urlesh that it was nothing more than the right thing to do and what we were called to do when we came here.
He says that he will tell the Lesh that you followed your Acha.
Yes, I like that.
Alright. They give you a quick salute, and then the honor guard turns and leaves.
Sorry, looking in Discord. That is
Oh,
exactly
shit, that-
Dimitri with the cape.
Carl and I are messing around in Discord.
All right, everybody. So, mechanically, this is a item of the Smiling Tyrant. I'm not sure if you've seen it before. It's kind of made its way around the internet a bit.
Mm-mm.
Oh shit! Advantage on intimidation and deception checks. Wow.
Woohoo.
Oh, disadvantage on persuasion checks. Wow.
against those that are not of the Dargoon. Awesome. So disadvantage on the only thing that I have skill in, and advantage on the things that I do
You
not.
can always take it off.
I
It does not require
Yeah.
attunement or anything.
I hate
Okay.
to say this, but this actually fits K's skill set.
Yeah,
much
significantly
better than
more
yours.
than Dimitri's skill set. Yeah. Yeah. So once we get out of town,
Yeah, you wear
He
it
did
down.
say
For
it was
anyone.
for all of you.
Yes.
yep, for any of us. So I just don't want to offend them by taking it off immediately and be like, here.
It could also fit Yuji's skill set.
I don't know if
Yeah, I
Yuji's
got most of mine
deception.
poured into persuasion, but
Oh, okay.
I've got all of
I
them.
mean-
I can do all of them. So
Yeah, I have persuasion and intimidation, so
Yeah, all
I've
I
got,
have is persuasion.
Hinge can
Yeah.
break rocks.
God damn it, Tinge. Yeah, I got all of them. Deception,
Yeah.
persuasion, intimidation. So
Yeah.
Good shit. Good
definitely
shit.
not something I would wear all the time.
Dimitri will try and walk as proudly as he can while wearing it there, until we get to where we're going. And then he will like collapse, clearly overwhelmed. Whenever we get into the caravan and he can sit down.
Fantastic. All right, so yeah, so traveling the rest of the way
Us-
through the city. Do any of you stop and do any shopping or anything else while you're in Dargoon before you head to the caravan?
Oh, we got that. Did we split that money, or what did we do with that money? That was like
We
200
split
gold.
it 50 each.
Okay. So.
I still don't have enough money. So no.
Hinge is
I mean-
broke.
Ooh, wait, can I sell one of those poisons?
Sure. I'd even go as far
One of
to
those
say that it would
poisons will
probably
give me
get
enough.
you more here since we're in Dargoon. And not
So if I were to try and sell both of the midnight tiers, I gotta look up how much they're worth.
Yeah, give them a 20% markup and give a persuasion check to see if you can convince somebody to buy from outsider. Although, if Dimitri is with you wearing his fancy new cloak, we will forego the persuasion.
Yeah,
check.
I
was gonna
I was
say,
thinking there could
Dimitri's
be an
absolutely needs to
opportunity.
come with me here.
What are you selling?
The 2 midnight tier poisons that I made
What?
on the last trip.
What are those?
Very awful poisons.
Oh, I don't think that you should sell those to people then.
So
You
you
just
think
kinda
he
like-
should use them?
No,
What am
why
I
did
supposed
you
to do
make
with them then?
Why did you make that? This is too much.
So, if you recall, Dimitri, several weeks ago when you all decided to walk into my room, I've been making this stuff for years.
Is that what happened?
Absolutely. I don't necessarily want to hold on to these 2 potions because they will end me. Or poisons, not potions, excuse me. So
Well,
better
how much-
somewhere else than here. I'll give
Is
saw
you
there
what happened with-
someone- Sorry. Saw what happened with what?
The frogs. Do you really want him to hold on to those? He doesn't seem very good at handling things.
Mm,
Yuji kind of points a spirit tinge. We can spar later.
Is there someone who, maybe technically works for the Lesh, like one of these guards that maybe we can trust with it?
Sure, as long as I get what it's worth.
How much is it worth?
1,500 gold plus 20%.
1,500 gold?
I said I'd give you a cut plus 20%.
Really?
This
For
is
that little thing?
18.
as metagaming. Yeah, it was when I rolled that crit, by the way. But yes,
Is that the price
Sometimes
to buy
things-
it, Yuji?
that's what it says. Price per dose is
Okay,
1,500.
so when we sell, we
I don't
cut
know
in
if you
half.
want to give me that. Okay, there you
When
go.
we sell, we cut
So
in half, yeah.
750.
So we'll round up to 800, and then with another within 20%, we'll do 20% on top of that. Still a fucking lot, but not that much.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, 960 a vial, and I have 2.
Oh, okay. Well, I trust that you're going to make the right decision.
Make good choices.
He always does.
I've made a choice. We'll let someone else figure that part out. Where am I selling these?
Dimitri will uncomfortably stand there
So
with his mask down.
mask down, low lighting, trying to look as small as he can.
Yep.
Cloak gleaming in the light.
All right, fantastic. Dimitri, if you are helping Tinge look, it will be easy enough to find a vendor that does work directly with the local government.
Yep. I'm
And
there.
again, with your newfound alignment with these people, there will be no checks necessary, no bartering. They will give you the fair price for it.
God damn. Single tear rolls down my eye. I finally have enough money.
Enough money for what?
And I take Dimitri and we immediately go to the fanciest adamantium plate armor vendor we can find.
Adamantium plate armor vendor.
It's what they
I'm sure they're all
specialize
over
in here.
town.
Yuji's not going to need that fancy armor thing you gave him because he's about to be immune to critical hits.
Immune to
Oh, well.
critical hits.
Oh, yeah, there you
so
go.
I will go ahead and say that unfortunately there will not be adamantine plate armor here in Dargoon. That is for sale. But
Even with the cloak?
it's just not something that would be here in this city to be sold. You know what I mean? Like if there is a set of adamantine plate armor in Rukon Drawl, somebody important is wearing it. You know?
Fair enough.
I'm so close, and yet so far
you
away.
are, but we're not quite there yet. But let's go ahead and just say that soon, and
Cool.
move on from there.
Yuji, true to his word, would hand Dimitri 200 gold. Here, you can rub your mixed emotions with those and see how it feels.
No, thank you.
God damn it! Who is this guy?
If you're giving away money.
I'm sure there's someone here that could benefit from it more than me.
Yuji just shrug and hand it to me, or hand it to Kay. Then I mean, it's your money. Spend it however you want.
That's fine. And then we will make our way back.
All right.
Making my way.
Okay. So, when you all do return to the Orion outpost here in Rukon Draw, you find that there's already a group standing out front, and they're all kind of beginning to gather. One of them's on a horse. There's another younger, probably a teenage-looking boy. Looks like a runner. He's got a satchel and everything, and they're pointing in every direction. And then the guy looks and sees you and says, "No! Stop! There they are. No need. Stand back. Stand down. Go about your duties." They approach you all. They say, "We've received an urgent message from you. An urgent message for you from your handler, Lara, and one Professor Farius."
Oh. Okay, quickly. Do they have like a sheaf of paper or something?
He does. Holds it up, and he says, "You are to meet them in Sterngate at the fastest pace that you can manage. You have one of our coaches at your disposal, or we can give you fast horses. The decision is yours. Either way, they need you at Sterngate immediately." Says they have located the next Convergence, and that time is of the essence. You have barely enough time to make it to Eastern Karnath.
Whoa.
Like a
Karnath?
world map? Like, where are we traveling?
More far?
North.
Eastern Karnath says that you
Due
are on
north
your
and-
way to Irontown.
Hey,
We've got to get across the river.
Says you are to meet with Farius and Lara at Sterngate, where you will board a lightning drain. Where you will board the lightning drain.
Oh, Sterngate. So through the Margo Pass to the... Okay. So we're not heading straight to Karnath. We're heading into Breland and then heading. Because Karnath is north of the Moorland.
Yep.
Okay.
Here, for those of you that aren't aware,
By a long way, yeah. It's a
It's-
super travel.
over here.
Oh my goodness. Will we have to travel through the Moorland?
No,
one
they
travels
say
around,
that
I assume.
Lara and Farius are going to meet you at Sterngate, right there. There's a
Uh-huh.
lightning rail. There's a lightning rail station there. That is where they will meet you.
Horses and go.
But we're going to
He's already
Sterngate,
got
which...
Nero
So how are we going to get there?
riding
gonna
very
go-
quickly.
What does fast horses mean? It's like 24 to 28 miles a day, so it's like
Right.
6 days to get there.
These horses can up that to 32 miles a day. So that's like, what, 4 days of hard riding? If you cut straight across, maybe less.
Yeah, no, we'd follow the road because you can keep better time on the road. And what would a Orion carriage
The
get us there
Orient
in?
coach, the Orient coaches trade horses at scheduled stops, so there is no stopping for them. They can travel 60 miles in a day.
Let's go.
Yeah, the coach makes more sense, and we can carry stuff. Not that we need stuff, but
We can sleep while we travel. There's no chance of exhaustion.
Right. You'll just be riding in a coach, basically. Coach just for you this time instead of a caravan.
A single tear rolls down Yuji's cheek as we board the coach. One day I'm going to be back in Sharn, get my armor. It'll be cool.
I mean, you are heading to Karnath, if I remember correctly. They also are pretty well known for their armor and craftsmanship.
Yeah, but there's a lot of
Yeah.
baggage in Karnath.
How do you feel about going to Karnath?
It's a strange mixture of going home to a place that's no longer home.
isn't the lightning rail the thing that the Emerald Claw has been attacking?
Yeah, but that's by Sharn.
So what Yuji was able to learn is that the Emerald Claw are planning something involving the lightning rails.
Yeah, we're working on that.
Tinge is all for it. Let's go.
All right. All right, everybody. So, as you all gather and prepare to board down to your coach, Tontul would seek you out once more and say, "It was wonderful working with you all." He says, he kind of leans in close and says, "You have defeated the greatest threat that the Margul pose. But I've been told to inform you of something that you may not be aware of. The former Lesh of the Margul, as he liked to call himself, had a son. He
Oh.
was not present at that battle. Odrak Fane, in many ways, is more powerful than his father. Less military-minded, no leader, just a brute of a warrior. Keep your eye to the sky during your travels, especially if you find yourself back in Dargo. This is not a slight he will forget."
I hope that it
This-
brings no harm to you or your city.
Says, "Odrak Fane by himself is no threat to us."
Why the sky?
Or he rides a manticore into battle.
Oh dear.
God.
Hmm.
Alright, let's go ahead and take our break. And when we get back,
Uh-huh.
you all can make your way to Sterngate. Alright, so we are officially back now. Yeah. Are you all ready to put Rukon Draw behind you all?
Yes.
Indeed.
Hopefully, as not as dramatic as when we arrived, but yes.
Tinge is ready for the journey.
Nice. It will be quite the journey, too. Alright, everybody. So, as was just told to you all, you have a very angry son of a despot out there somewhere.
And we are keeping an eye out for him.
Fantastic. He is keeping an eye out for you. I need somebody to roll me a D100. And
I'm quacking this one because it's going to
you are
Karnath.
within Manticore flight range of the Margul Mountains.
17.
Right. What do we think the daily flight capabilities of a Manticore are?
I don't even know what its travel speed is.
I
gotta
think
look
it's
it
either
up.
got a 60 or an
It's
80.
got a 60-foot fly speed.
120 feet every 6 seconds if it's moving. So, I mean, that's
It's a lot.
like
It's a lot.
40 or 50 miles of range.
In how long? In a day?
If an active looking, yeah.
Okay. So that's every 6 seconds. So a minute. How'd you figure that out? I'm sorry. I'm having a hard time mathing. I want to see how far the danger zone is right now.
So if we're saying a horse is able to move
And this thing flies, so
24 miles in a day, and a horse's speed is equal. It's 60 feet,
Okay.
but a manicore can fly straight.
Right.
So it can go 13 miles an hour.
Yeah, it is actually a long way.
Okay. So let's say if he was, this guy's persistent, right? So let's say he spends 10 hours a day just searching.
So then he's getting 100, like close to
130
140 miles.
So he's gonna find us.
Okay. Well,
that
what we're
range,
gonna do is we're gonna put a percentage chance anytime that you're within 140 miles of the mountains.
Excelente.
So, for this day of travel, there is no sign of three-headed winged beasts in the sky.
Nova is always ready.
You said manticore and three-headed?
I'm sorry, I meant Chimera.
Oh, he's flying a chimera,
He's flying
not
chimera,
a manticore.
Not a manticore.
That's
Oh,
a
God.
different story.
My bad.
Right,
He
Keeps
does
getting
fly
better.
chimera.
I don't know the difference. I mean, I do know the difference. I just don't know from a game stat standpoint. But I'm pretty sure that one is bigger than the other.
Do you remember
One is
the Borderlands when you play multiplayer and like the Denzians get stronger and weaker? That was just the Denzians got stronger.
Excellent.
Poison's gonna show up with a chimera. Poison's no
challenge.
bueno.
Just objectively, everybody, most of you would probably know as characters that chimeras are considerably more dangerous than manticores.
Oh yeah.
Like, considerably.
Got it.
So just a heads up there.
Talking about an angry flying lion versus an angry three-headed monster, right?
Right.
With a breath weapon.
With
With the breath. I forgot all about the breath.
Multiple breath
Oh,
weapons.
3 attacks per turn.
Yeah.
They're
The tails?
They're scurry.
Yeah.
But yes,
When
your
did-
first day of travel does go by without any interruption. We'll just do one more check for Odrock Fane on the way to Sterngate, and then we'll say that we'll go ahead and up the percentage a little bit. So,
Got it.
yep, D100. Getting close, okay. All right. So, I will say this. As you all are making your way through the Margul Pass, you do hear a very strange cry get carried to you all on the wind. It sounds unlike anything you've ever heard before. It sounds like multiple beasts reaching at once. It does seem to be several miles away from you all, carried to you all on a mountain wind. Oh, we're out of control. Let's turn off the crowd music.
Let's just go faster.
Okay. That being the case, after a few days of travel,
Oh yeah, totally would have handed over the new cape to Kay.
fantastic. Got it. Okay. Alright, everybody. So after a few days of travel, you do find yourselves approaching the high-walled fortress of Sterngate. Kay, you've probably spent some time at Sterngate. For
Yeah,
one
I've been
reason
there
or
at least
another.
once or twice.
So Sterngate's a fortress in Breland that stands at the entrance to the Margul Pass. It guards the border of Dargoon and Breland. People give you some rather interesting looks if you're wearing that cloak, Kay. No one's gonna stop you, but you can see a few people kind of giving you the... Go ahead.
Once I'm back in Breland, I would pack it away.
Got it. Yep, that's probably for the best. Okay. But yeah. A lightning rail runs through Sterngate, connecting to Starlesker to the north and Zolenberg to the south. So, don't need
We
that
have
extension.
instructions on where to meet our contact.
No, just to meet them in Sterngate.
It's a little late now, but are we sure that this was sent by her?
I am assuming that there is a the gnome house,
Civis.
Civis. I assume that close to where we got dropped off by the Orion carriage, that there is a Civis message center close by.
Most definitely.
I head straight to it,
Okay.
and I pay to have
While you are on your way there, as you approach the Civis, what would they be? Probably offices here at a fortress like that. But as you approach the Civis offices, entering in, you see the well-known figure of Lara standing near the entrance. She's leaning up against the wall. You see her kind of tapping her foot impatiently. She's like, "Ah, yes, I knew you'd make your way over here." And she strides over towards you and says, "You all have been busy." She brightens as she saunters over towards you all.
That's kind of what we do.
She nods. She says, "There was brewing of a war about to start between dragon-marked houses in Dargoon."
Dragon mark houses don't go to war. Isn't that part
exactly.
of the treaty?
She says war in air quotes. But she does say that there was a definite diplomatic situation that was almost caused. Something about Dargoon or Margul. They don't really differentiate too much. They didn't really see it as an attack from a fringe element, but then it later came out that you all had destroyed that fringe element yourselves.
We at least cut the head off the snake. We'll see whether or not it sprouts a new one.
It was basically side mission, but to many people's benefit, I hope.
Says, well, either way, apparently, the Lesh of Dargoon is far more open to allowing our activities inside of his borders. So, thank you
Good
to that.
know. So, we have something on our possession that I believe that Provost Furious wants.
She nods and says, "I'd assume that you'd had them, otherwise you likely wouldn't be here right now. Let's go meet with them."
And Dimitri will put his hand on Laura's shoulder and make direct eye contact with her and say, your words that they're much more open to allowing activity in Dargoon. Don't betray the trust that we've earned.
She says, oh, I won't. She kind of looks towards you a little bit. Says, I might want to convince your family to do the same.
Yeah, that'll shut him up. Okay. And then we'll follow.
All right. Okay. So, as you all head through the fortress,
Does she have our money?
she does. She does, in fact,
From
have
which-
your payment.
From which source, right? I mean,
She doesn't have your she does
Casino
not have
money?
your casino money. That's not
No.
her business.
Yeah, that's yeah.
But yes, I don't remember how much she agreed to pay you all. Let me go back and check.
1 million gold pieces.
Excuse me, sir, but that's not very much money anymore.
Way less than it took us to get this thing.
Okay, so this was Living Legend.
I gotta start writing down how much she's giving us.
So she
I didn't
originally offered to pay you 100 gold apiece, and agrees to do an extra 50 because of your involvement. And furthermore, she emphasizes just how much this is done, and throws in a bonus of an additional 100 per character as well, per player, for each
So
of you.
200, so 250.
250 apiece.
Wow.
The D&D economy is very interesting because this is a shitload of money
Yeah,
in
it
the
really
D&D
is.
economy.
But it doesn't.
But at the same
value
time,
it.
you look at them and like you understand this is worth millions of gold pieces, and you're like,
It makes a little bit more sense in Eberron.
What's worth millions?
The
The
ancient
econ-
artifacts.
The economy as a whole
Oh,
makes
right.
a little bit more sense in Eberron because it's closer to a industrial revolution type economy as opposed to medieval economy.
Either way, we're the richest truckers probably anyone has ever seen stroll through town.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, that's one of the reasons I really enjoy Esper Genesis and Starfinder. Their economies like legitimately make sense.
Oh yeah.
Esper Genesis is especially, they did a really great job with that economy.
2E is better because it's like starting characters start with 15 gold. Things cost silvers. Things cost like 1 gold piece, 2 gold piece. Your rewards for many things, or you get 10 gold pieces for rewards, but you can actually buy stuff. A healing potion cost 4. An alchemical version of a healing potion cost 3.
The
The
concept
great
of
equalizer. What's the
the
plate
concept-
armor there?
the concept of buying a magic item in 2E didn't exist.
Still
armor.
prohibitively expensive.
Hold on 1 second. I can tell you.
Well, plate armor didn't exist in 2E. They had what they called plate mail. It was 1 armor class better than chainmail, or 2 maybe.
It's not prohibitively. In fact, in the
Are you talking
in
about
my-
Pathfinder 2E?
yeah, Pathfinder 2E.
Sorry, you said 2E, and I
Yeah, sorry, that's yeah.
because I've been playing Dungeons and Dragons forever. So
I heard just in passing that gold has much more like usable value in Pathfinder 2e.
Yeah, let's see. Full plate is 30 gold pieces.
What?
Yeah. And it's an armor class of plus so 16.
But the AC doesn't scale the same way D&D does, right?
Yeah,
No.
AC is calculated very differently in Pathfinder 2e.
Yeah.
having a 30 AC in Pathfinder 2E is
Yeah,
not
they like their big
out
numbers.
of the ballpark.
Yeah, for sure. Because you add your level as well as your the number associated with your degree of proficiency, because you're not just proficient. You don't just get like, hey, I'm proficient and I get 2 or whatever, it's, you are trained, you're an expert, you're a master, you're a legend, and each one of those has a different value associated with it. So if you're an expert in your armor, then you add +4, plus your level, plus whatever the armor bonus itself is.
Yeah, I like that. But
Yeah,
Anyway.
the mastery, like the trained expert, like the proficiency system was, I think, the hardest thing for me to wrap my head around for
Mhm.
Pathfinder as I was learning it, because it's not like you just get that, like you get it through traits and features and things like that is how you get the expertise, instead of just like having proficiency like you do in 5e.
Right.
Like you have to
Right.
gain it through various things, which I like.
Yep.
It's kind of cool.
Yep.
Well,
A
all
huge,
right.
huge deviation. So
Yeah.
250 gold, and we hand over ancient fancy chains.
Okay. She holds up a finger and says, "Well, that's not really for me, is it? Farius is here, and he has another mission for you. This one is..."
oh, he's here. I figured you were just bringing us the
She
mission.
says, "Nope. He is here to meet with you. Says that he has an exceptionally exhilarating mission for you this time." She kind of looks over and gives
Gulp.
you a mischievous smile. She says, "I know most of our guild members enjoy their initiation ritual, jumping from the towers of Sharn. Well, this might bring back some fond memories." She bares her fangs in an amused grin before turning to lead you all down the hall.
Usually kind of
Okay.
signals to everyone to make sure they have their feather fall tokens
Yeah.
ready.
Tinge rubs his Featherfall token fondly.
Oh yeah, checking to make sure that it's still working.
Laura turns towards you. She says, like, "Those aren't going to help you this time. The fall is the point." Just, I'll let Farius explain it to you. It's fine. And so she leads you all through a maze of stone corridors and statues lining walkways. And then she pauses at an oaken door, opening it to reveal a study with the familiar face of Provost Nigel Furious inside. Pulls his attention from the journal on the desk in front of him, giving you all an appraising look before he nods his approval at Lara. And he says, "So this is them. This is the ones who've been doing all of the good work for me." Lara leans in. "Sir, you've met them several times." He's like, "No, I haven't." Yes, you have."
Insight check.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just confused.
He says, "I think I would
I
remember
think,
somebody that important."
I think you usually would like to do an inside check too, as he is also someone who struggles with memory issues.
Sure, I'll go ahead and let one more. Nice. Christmas.
Let's take
He
that first
is
one.
a
So,
old and self-centered man who has very little care for others around him. So the likelihood that he met you and then immediately forgot is quite high.
Yeah, which is how he ends up hiring other people to do the same
That's
job.
how he ends up hiring other people to do the jobs. So, after she assures Farius that he has in fact met you all before, she says, "The province has located another artifact he needs for his research. Professionalism of our guild has thoroughly impressed him once again, and once more he's retained our services. As you will for all of these jobs. Isn't that correct, Provost?" He says, "Oh, yes, I remember you mentioning that earlier today." Laura looks clearly annoyed. But Farius steeples his fingers together and begins, an excited glint in his eye. You can see the sharpness of his mind hitting a laser focus when he discusses this particular subject. "After much searching through ancient texts, I have obtained conclusive evidence of a marvelous artifact. It's been unreachable for 3 centuries, but Don V, the plane of perfect order, will soon be coterminous." Those of you that may be familiar with maybe researching the planes and their rotation around Eberron would likely be aware that Don V becoming coterminous is an extremely rare event. It is not something that happens very often at all. But the Provost goes on after saying that this artifact has been unreachable for 3 centuries. Says, Donvi will soon be coterminous, allowing us, or you, rather, to step through to another plane in search of this device. He pushes a sketch across the desk towards you all. Lara picks it up, hands it to whoever is nearest to her. On that sheet of paper is drawn a rather intricate drawing of a transparent sphere, inside of which are what appears to be various tracks with balls rolling around on side of them. You keep that. You may need it to identify the artifact. Farius says, she's called the Quintessence Engine. Lovely thing that she is. Not too big, perhaps as big as your hand span. To retrieve the engine, you'll have to travel to a small manifest zone in Karnath, along the lightning rail line. You will need an authorization crystal, made of Donvian diamond, which allows you to access Donvi itself. A clifftop associate of mine, Amal D. Kalkoran, is in the process of procuring one for each of you. You will meet him on the lightning rail at Irontown in eastern Karnath. Let me get you all that name real quick. It's Amal D.
You've clarified this with the Carnathian royalty.
Says, our business does not concern them. We will not be operating on their lands. After all, we'll simply be jumping through them. And Lara goes
Yuji
on.
suddenly,
Good.
so Yuji suddenly now knows what Dimitri feels like all the time.
Is
Very
there
prepared.
is there a check to do to understand what this quintessence engine might be?
I would say man,
Arcana?
history, Arcana, and religion seem like they all kind of wrap up here. So go ahead and do any one of those 3.
I'm going to use my sessional for a 26.
Okay. So go ahead and hold on to your sessional.
Okay.
Give me just one second, because there's not much information to be had on it. With a 15, you would be able to get what little information that there is on it.
Okay.
It is a timekeeper for Donvi. It is one of the devices that allows the entire plane to operate in perfect unison at all times. One of many such devices that would allow to do that.
So removing one is not going to be.
Yeah.
The end of the plane. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
I was like, okay, so Dimitri is going to veto this mission.
No. Furthermore, you know what? If you want to use your 26, I will allow you to get some more information.
Okay.
Okay. So, Donvi is the plane of perfect order, right? With your 26 in Arcana, we'll say that you've read some books specifically on this subject.
Yeah, I was specifically recently reviewing stuff on the plane, so
right.
Makes sense.
So everything is mechanical there, right? Everything right down to when the person takes the forms from this office to the next and locks his stamp on it and then moves it from this bin to the next. Everything has a specific time and place that it must be done in order to maintain the perfect order of Donvi. In order to achieve that, there are mechanisms throughout the plane that keep that time, almost like massive clocks. Removing one piece from them will cause a disturbance. It will be noticed. However, it is so incredibly efficient there that those pieces, even something as rare as the Quintessence engine, is likely to be replaced within minutes. Rebuilt and replaced within minutes.
We will have a conversation about this privately.
Okay, so you're not saying that out loud, got it.
I am not.
Okay, so he has just informed you all of Amaldi Kolkaran, the contact for Clifftop that will meet you in Irontown on the Lightning Rail. It says that you are to meet him on the Lightning Rail in Irontown. He says that for the sake of, let's say, political expedition, don't get off the Lightning Rail while you're in Karnath until you get to until you're done with your mission, basically, until it's time to get off. He says, looks towards you, Yuji, and says, we don't exactly have permission to run this operation. So, to all appearances, you all are simply on vacation on the Lightning Rail. Going to take it from A to B as far as you can. Whatever excuse you want, but whatever cover story you want to give yourselves, he says, but it is important that you're not seen too far outside the borders of the rail.
Yeah, the Lightning Rail itself is kind of like neutral territory.
Yeah, exactly.
What's the pay to remain unseen?
Rates are growing exponentially with our
Mhm.
achievements.
He nods and says, this is going to be a particularly interesting mission, so of course the rates will be higher. Why don't we start at 300 gold for each of you?
Up front?
No, I can't have my gold going to Don V and simply vanishing there. I will give you each 100 up front, and then 200 when you return.
Someone write this down.
Someone
I
write this
got
down,
it
yes,
now.
please.
Tinge is recording this now.
Mhm. Dimitri remembers everything.
This way is north, right?
This way is north. Everywhere is not north, finally.
And that's a rock.
And that's a rock. All right.
When does the Lightning Rail leave?
He says, now, and gathers up his things. Lara and I will accompany you to the transition that will take us back to Sharn, and you all northward. But it is time to depart. We shall go.
I do need to make a short stop off along the way.
Along the way to Karnath.
Along the way to the Lightning Rail station.
Make it quick.
It will be.
And as he's gathering everything up, he says, there's more. While we go. And he starts walking with you all. According to the most reliable texts, once you pass through the portal, the engine will be right on the other side. You simply take it, come back the way you came, and voila, mission accomplished. As you all go down the corridors, Lara's boots kind of clicking as she goes. She clears her throat. Perhaps you should mention to them how they passed through the portal, Provost. Provost chuckles to himself. He says, it's a simple matter of riding the rail until you reach Krona Peak. Anybody familiar with that area would know those to be extremely high peaks, veritable skyscrapers of themselves, massive drop-offs. The rail bridge crosses a deep river gorge below. You merely jump off the rail car while holding an authorization crystal. You must hit terminal velocity and remain at terminal velocity for several seconds before you hit the river, and voila! Don V. Easy, right?
Have you
Yuji is
done
concerned.
it before?
Ah, me? I'm an old man, of course not. No, I won't be jumping off of any train cars, but you all are he looks towards Yuji. Most of you are young men.
Our lives are only worth 300 gold to
It's not going to
jump
cost you your
off.
lives, you'll be fine.
How do you know? You've never done it before.
I think you should come.
I think not. I'll be safe and warm in Sharn while you all do this particular mission. Besides, what am I paying you all for? To go on the missions with you? No.
Whatever.
Yuji will kind of look at Dimitri with concern.
And this is necessary for your
Manifesto.
Indeed.
Yes.
Tinge would just look at Lara and go, "We get paid better doing nothing for killing a demon weeks ago. Why should we do this? This is chump change."
She looks towards you. She says, "I can always find another group if you are unwilling to do the job."
Who? Who would be dumb enough to jump out of a train? Other than us.
Yuji, she
I was
looks
going to say, I'm
towards
looking
you.
at the group of fools.
Yuji, she looks towards you and says, "The Emerald Claw are also trying to get to Donvi on the same day at the same convergence."
What are they seeking there?
The same thing we are. Provost then kind of looks up and he says, "Once every 300 years, this opportunity arises. We will not be the only ones there."
You would expect that, I imagine that those on the other side of the Manifest Zone are aware of this. If everything is so precisely ordered there, and if it is a relatively short duration that this opportunity presents itself, wouldn't you think that this would be extraordinarily well guarded? Leaping from a moving rail car to our untimely demise may not be the worst thing that we're expected to face here.
The Provost assures you that as long as you don't cause trouble in Donvi, then they will not be encouraged to harm you in any way. The Donvi is a place of infinite order. As long as you don't disturb that order, you'll be fine.
And removing a quintessence engine from there doesn't qualify as breaking
Harm?
their laws or harm?
Says they say that they know it is possible to leave Donvi with artifacts. Not exactly sure how. Perhaps there's a bureaucratic way to do it. Some form you can fill out.
We're gonna have to queue.
Yuji, after being in deep thought for a while, the path is clear. I'm going with or without you.
Yuji's already there, apparently. His token's up there at Irontown.
Yeah, I was lazy and didn't want to drag them all over the map. If the Emerald Claw are there, then my purpose is to follow them.
What is your desire once you run into them? Well, maybe we shouldn't have this conversation away from Master Farius. I think the point that Tinge is making is that we value our lives significantly more than what you're describing, and I feel like when we return this, there'll just be something else waiting for us. So,
He says, "Indeed, there is more artifacts to seek."
there is no one else who will accomplish what it is that you seek.
You can go ahead and make a persuasion check.
Do.
You all have been trying with this, so you can do so at advantage.
23.
Lara does say, "The last time that you tried to send somebody else, they nearly died and you had to send us anyways. Perhaps it is time to start increasing our fee." Pavis kind of looks around and he says, "Blast, fine. 200 now, 300 upon your return each."
Let's go.
Done.
I was like, is that all it takes?
And even more so, I need to make that quick errand along the way.
Okay. They say you have about 20 minutes, Kay, until the
Yeah.
lightning rail leaves.
I am quite sure that there is a Kundarak branch near the lightning rail station.
Mm-hmm.
I am depositing 1,100 gold pieces
I
in
don't
my
want to
account.
carry all that around with you, huh? Right,
Yeah,
banking's a thing.
I know. I need to do that too because
gotta
I'm
make a
currently
deposit.
sitting at
Got too much cash on me.
1,538,
Oh my god! Imagine getting robbed.
and I've been turning down gold.
Yuji's been hoarding gold like a dragon. I have 34 palladium now.
Wow.
I'd love to spend it if I could have the opportunity, but I haven't
34
got there
platinum. That's
Nope.
only 340.
yet.
340 platinum, you mean?
Yeah, there it is. That one. 3,400
Okay.
gold.
3,400 gold. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, I dropped to 0.
Yeah, I was like, wow,
You don't want to do
you
that. Set yourself back pretty far.
like, and he's so proud of it too. Should I say something?
Yeah, you should. I lost to 0 there.
All right. Yep.
Okay.
Gonna be
Yeah.
depositing that.
But while Kay walks away, Yuji pulls Dimitri aside. I know the Emerald Claw is not my quest, but it is still a sworn oath to pursue them. When I was with them and what they do now are two very different organizations.
I will look around and make sure that neither Laura nor Farius are within earshot. I'll put my hand on Yuji's shoulder and say, I told you that, and I think everyone knows it, I value each of you individually more than any mission that we do here. If this is what you need to do to find peace, I'll help you. To hell with Farius. But let's just be careful what we take on and what we do. I'm growing. I take people at how they present themselves. I try and see the best in everyone, but I'm finding it difficult to continue to do that with Farius. Don't know why.
Unfortunately, I have been on many roads that are to hell and paved with good intentions. I feel as we're on the same path yet again. But this is a purpose that I must complete. I know it won't free me from the reborn cycle that I'm trapped in. But I also know I cannot stand by idly and allow them to do whatever they need to do.
It might. I don't understand what's happened to you or your trusted companion. But perhaps this is why you continue to walk Eberron, is because you've got something left to do. A small spark can light a conflagration. Maybe just like we did in Dargoon, maybe your actions here with the Emerald Claw will potentially remind someone what things were, and maybe that will spread and something might change. But we'll never know if we don't try.
I always appreciate your positive outlook. I've spent lifetimes looking for people like you.
Well, here I
And I'm
am.
glad we at least might die together as we go fight the Emerald Claw.
Me too.
Just what Dimitri wants to do.
Me too. Thanks.
I'm gonna be over here now. Okay.
You see Yuji get all like fired up and grab Dimitri, and to death it is then. Let's go.
Oh.
Marches right off to the lightning realm.
Okay. We will pass by success on our way to death, though, and preferably old age. Infirmity. Yes, old age and infirmity. I'd like to make a stop off there before we get to the death part as well.
As Dimitri passes Tinge, he just says, long is the road, but short is the life.
That's actually could be a it's still not quite certain the life that you're going to live. So, you know, Tinge, there's a saying that um the way to measure one's life is the impact one leaves on the world. Um, I think that for us, for now at least, we'll be measuring our lives and the impact we make on you because you'll be here long after the rest of us.
I tend to cut things, not hit them.
What?
Tinge just turns and gets on the train.
I think I missed something.
Okay.
Oh, impact. I got it. Haha. And then
We're all on
Dimitri
the
will
same page.
hop onto the train after depositing $1,500 or 1,500 gold in the bank.
Okay. All right.
Oh, look at that train music.
Train,
train sound.
sounds. All right. So, before long, you all find yourselves aboard the lightning rail, and Laura leads you towards the front cart. The cart. Oh, jeez, it's an actual train. Damn it. Don't want that.
Mm-hmm.
Rip. Okay. But yeah, Laura leads you, and she says, Farius has springed for quite the extravagance. And Farius kind of brushes past you all. She says, with what you all are paying, I should have you in steerage. Goes in. Farius has rented out 2 cabins for you all. A full first-class lounge and a private cabin as well. And yeah, so all aboard the lightning rail, it would seem.
I'm guessing there are other people on this rail as well.
Many others indeed. Many others indeed. As you all are boarding, you can see there's a few soldiers getting on here, but the most people are getting on board at a couple of other stops. A couple of the other stops along the way, namely Starlaskor, and that is where Farius and Lara are going to be disembarking. However, for now, it takes about a few hours, and you can see Lara talking to Farius on the other side of your little private cabin, and he gets up and saunters over towards you all, or more kind of creeps up to you all. He kind of says, Lara has informed me that you all think my mannerisms, unpleasant. I apologize. It does appear that I need you all for my work, so I thought I might put your minds at ease. I can't tell you anything about my work in particular. It's too delicate, too high risk of theft, but I can answer any questions that you may have about your current mission so that you may go in feeling that I have provided you with the best means for success. Do you have any questions about what you all are about to undertake for my grand design?
Yes.
Of course.
What is it that we're gathering powerful artifacts, some artifacts that are not just a magical piece of equipment, but almost like the representation of an entire people and their beliefs. And we're gathering them for you because you say that it's something to help prevent wars in the future.
Indeed.
And I'll look sort of over my shoulder in the direction of the Mournland and say, other people had similar thoughts, and it ended very poorly. How do we know that that's not the direction that we're on?
Because once my device is complete, I will hand it over to the Thronehold to do with as they see fit. I am not doing this for my own benefit, but for the benefit of all Corvarius. The very fundamental laws of the cosmos will prove my mission worthwhile.
But how will it work? One powerful device in the hands of one person is to create peace for all?
It will not be in the hands of one person. I will gift it symbolically to the Alliance.
And what will it do?
It will spark a war as everybody squabbles over who has control of it.
It is certainly not my intention. It is my hope that it will prevent war.
Hope and intention can both lead to the wrong place.
Says, I apologize that I can't go into more detail about the end designs of my manifesto. But I can provide you with more information about our current mission. Anything that you
Please
wish
do
to know.
so. Well, what do you know of the Karnathi that are going to be there? Are they on this train? Are they going to cause harm to the people that are naively riding this lightning rail to simply get to where it is that they wish to go?
The machinations of the Emerald Claw are unknown to me. Laura may have more insight into this, but their involvement in the situation was news to me.
If her news indicates that the lives of the innocent people on this train are at risk, then
wouldn't you
they
rather be there to protect them?
I would rather them not be here at risk at all.
There's no way to guarantee that the Emerald Claw is in fact going to be on the train. It's only rumors, and, well, you know how things can be. The lightning rail stops for nothing.
The best way to protect the people against the Emerald Claw is to be able to interfere in their plans. Not going on this mission won't change anything that the Emerald Claw is doing.
Well, I've committed to this mission. I just have concerns that we're potentially putting others at risk.
In Celestial, Kay will say, I don't think we should push him too much.
Dimitri's ears perk up. Ooh, ooh! And then he will say back in common, thank you for the kind words, to Kay, and then back to Farius. What do you know of the denizens of this realm?
He nods and says, well, they are a very ordered people. They do enjoy their paperwork, their queues, their bureaucracy. Everything has its time, has its place, has its purpose. Generally a non-violent folk.
Excellent. Well, I hope that this trip will hold that to still be true. Is there a risk that if some of these Karnathi have the Donvi, what did we call them? Keys? What were they called?
The authorization crystals.
There you go. Donvi authorization crystals. That they would also be able to enter at the same time we do.
He says yes, that would be a possibility. As far as he knows, though, his contact has the only 6 that are currently in circulation, if you will. Says that the authorization crystals are often used as identification papers and function similarly to a spell shard. But for your purposes, they're just an access pass allowing you into the plane. It's what's going to turn your jump from a splat into a nice gentle glide into Donvi.
And when we come out, where will we come out?
He says that... He says that the place that you're jumping, it's called a point of order. That small Donvian manifest zone in Karnat. It's unusually orderly. The influence of it's unusually orderly. Perfectly spaced rows of crops, perfectly symmetrical trees. In the middle of a perfectly straight stretch of river. The influence of Donvi is strongest at that point, and beneath the rail bridge over the deep river chasm, that spot is specifically designed to allow access. It will place you nice and gently at the gates of one of their major, what they call welcome centers.
So there would be good visual cues that that everything is open and working properly before we jump. Good.
But once we've accomplished our mission and come back out, will we appear midair over a river?
He says no. Your return... You will return from a different location. A large administrative building that he has received information about. He says hopefully it's still there. Says once you get to that one, once you get to the top of that building, you can merely jump off of it and return in the other direction. Says that administration building is linked to a space just outside of the mountains. It should be perfectly safe.
So we have to find somewhere within Donvi, this administrative building, make our way to the top and throw ourselves from that to then subsequently land in the Iron Root Mountains.
Exactly.
And then
No big deal.
Do you have any walkie talkies or any such things so that we can communicate with you, or will you be waiting?
He's
there
heading back to
once we
Sharn
come.
after Star Loskor.
So who's going to be waiting for us in the mountains on our return?
no one.
Indeed.
I think that's a solid. We're on our own.
Said it shouldn't be far from Krona Peak where you can reboard the lightning rail.
Understood. And we will have return tickets already paid for.
First class.
Do you have those on you? I have a bag.
To you.
Thank you.
They are good for any time.
Open return.
Open return.
They're Sharnus Volcanenda tickets.
Yuji would take the opportunity to question his research into Mabar, knowing that it likely wouldn't lead anywhere.
What's your question?
I guess what I'm trying to say is he'd be giving him some leading questions to see if his research has led him down the same path that Yuji has done, which is the influences of Illyrian and Mabar seem to be intertwined.
Okay.
Trying to figure out if he's made as much strides in those planes as Yuji has, academically speaking. One of those like questioning with really pointed, direct questions.
Right, you
but
want
not
to see if
actually
any of his
revealing what
research
he's
has
feeling.
been into Mabar yet, right?
Yeah. Yuji's gonna assume no, but
does say that he is getting pretty close to 1. His research is definitely leading him towards the bar. Give me just one moment. Says that he believes the Queen of Night may be in possession of one of the artifacts he seeks. He hasn't confirmed it yet, but he expects to soon. Believes the artifact that the Queen of Night possesses may be the Mabaran Manifest artifact he's looking for.
Would Yuji know who the Queen of Night is?
Oh, yes.
I think he would immediately stop questioning him and walk away to think about what he just said.
Well, is there anything else that you think that would be important for us to know that we've been too silly to think of? Had a bit of a interesting time of late.
I mean, do you have any other questions for him? Anything else that you want to know about the mission?
Don't.
Not that I can think of.
I have questions for Laura, if that matters.
Yeah, definitely. Sorry. I misspoke. The Queen of Night isn't a person. The Queen of Night is the artifact that he's seeking, and he believes that
Okay.
he believes that it is being held. Well, believes it's being held in Karnath, but he's not sure yet.
Okay.
Had to look ahead a bit there. It's like, I know we're going to Mabar. I know Mabar is coming in soon. I just didn't remember exactly where. Okay. Alright, so yeah, you all have a few hours of travel before Lara and Varius part ways and head south on another train. You have anything else you wanted to say to them? Anything else you want to talk about with them?
I want to talk to Laura
Okay.
privately.
Okay.
Say, Laura, I wanted to thank you for the opportunities that you've provided us in travel. It's opened my eyes, and I suspect those of my traveling companions, and given us a chance to do a great deal of good.
She says that you all have brought no small amount of rapport to the guild as well. They have new recruits knocking down the doors after hearing about your exploits.
I hope that they all will maintain our focus on doing what's good and what's right.
She says,
And I hope
is
that you
what
keep
we're
that
about.
at your heart. Okay. Keep an eye on our patron for us, please.
Says Two Eyes, whenever they're available.
Thank you.
She stops you for a moment as you go, and she says, we understand the threat that Varius' project poses. Believe me, if we believe he's going to abuse it, we will step in. But we'd much rather be supervising his construction of this device rather than him sitting in a lab somewhere hiring the Death Skaters and worse to do it for him.
It's funny. Even though you haven't been traveling with us, you sound a lot like Kay.
Boom.
There's worse things to sound like.
She says, thank you, hesitantly.
No, thank you. If there's anything that you think that we need to know, I think we need to find some sort of devices to communicate with each other over long distances. something like a walkie-talkie.
She says that she'll see about getting some sending stones sent to you.
That would be amazing. Thank you, Laura. And then Dimitri will, in his usual fashion, give her a big hug.
Alright, she accepts a little bit of a hug back this time. She's not as stiff about it anymore.
Excellent.
Excellent.
Yuji, you'd be standing right behind Dimitri. Just a slight look of disgust. I don't want a hug.
Good.
Bring it in. No.
I think Yuji would waste no time to kind of like butt in too and ask her what she know, if she determined any more information regarding the Emerald Claws or what they're doing on the train, or if she had any leads that he can pursue.
She says that they are still working on it. She says that she almost lost some really good men just figuring out that they were going to be on the train. But she says that she does expect them to board at the same place as you all, at Irontown.
Cool.
We have quite the expedition ahead of us.
That you certainly do.
I assume at Flame Keep we'll be transferring to a ferry to Korth.
Flame Keep. I think I had just mapped it out that you all were taking the long way, but if that's a more expeditious route, then probably. To where from?
I was trying to figure out the
Flame Keep?
route too. It's going to be all the way around.
To Korth.
Oh, okay.
So straight past the island of Thronehold and up the river.
I kind of had it plotted out like, and then up
Oh.
there. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Oh, that's fine too. Yeah, that's fine too.
And then,
Oh yeah. Because then we don't have to get off the lightning rail.
right, that was the plan.
Okay, that's cool too. That's probably faster.
Indeed, ferries are slow, lightning real fast.
Mm-hmm.
We're literally traveling through Yuji's hometown, and he'd be less than thrilled.
Yep.
And explaining why there's a boat full of dead people when we get there is probably going to be hard.
There's boats of dead people in Clarnath all the time.
I was just saying that'd probably fit in more than anything.
Newly dead people or dismembered
Especially,
dead people.
Especially right around a tour and Renmark. Yeah, I'm sure there'd be no blinking of eyes in that.
Okay.
All right, everybody. So, at
Here we go.
Star Lascur. At Star Lascur, Varius and Lara do board separate trains. They leave slightly before you all bound for Sharn. And that does bring us back to you all, still aboard the train. And now, for now at least, you all have the first class lounge and both first class cabins all to yourselves.
Dimitri will continuously, routinely cast alarm on the doors.
If we're in a first class lounge, there's going to be people coming, stewards.
Is it reserved just for us?
It is.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. But
Still doesn't mean we're not getting
but
service.
first class means we have service.
It does. After this much time spent on, you all would know that the car that you're in here is the first class car. Up here is the engine car. You're not allowed in there. The door is locked and only accessible by crew.
Is there something we can see?
Was that?
It's in the upper right corner. I made that same mistake.
Ah, there we are.
I love
I tried to
the
drag everybody. There you are.
I love that it's got the little door thingies that we can open now. Is that new to Roll
And
20?
windows, yes.
It is.
Yeah, that's been in Foundry for
Yeah,
forever.
I heard.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. I wish there was a way to remove the indicator and just have an actual just door there, but it's good for
Yeah.
people to know that it's there.
Yeah, and I don't know how it is here, but in Foundry, if there's a skill check to open a locked door, you can actually have it to where it'll prompt them to do like thievery or something like that, and
No,
then
nothing like that yet. I just have locked doors.
Yeah,
Like, Tinge, if you try to
actually-
open that door, it won't do anything.
Yeah, like if I click, when I click on a window, it says it's locked.
got it. Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, I actually don't mind that. It's some of the stuff about Foundry I don't like is I don't like it prompting
Oh yeah, that does sound
players to
wonky.
do things.
It's like, that's my job, damn it.
Yeah, exactly.
It kind of gives them permission to just try a skill check for nothing. Yeah, I get that. I get that being kind of. All right, but yeah, you all have quite some time, nearly a week, before you get to where you're supposed to meet up with your contact.
Well, then I will be done with Celestial.
Nice.
Dimitri, what other languages do you know?
I am so familiar with other languages. I know Draconic.
Yeah. And I say, yep, I know that language too, in Draconic.
Okay, that's it. That's what I got.
Yeah, so
Yuji
we all
would
know
suddenly
this.
perk
You
up,
and I
wondering
know
why
the
everyone's talking
the
in
same
Draconic.
stuff now.
Yep.
Kay would let everybody know once we're away from our patron, for lack
Oh
of
yeah,
a better
they've
word.
they've left.
Yeah. You say, I really don't care where he sends us. Eventually, he has to send us to a manifest zone to Dalcor. Those don't exist.
What do you mean?
There hasn't been a manifest zone to Dalcor since the war between the Giants and Dalcor.
Then how would he send us to him?
It's the $1 million question, isn't it?
That's exactly.
Million gold question.
Is it something like this where once every some years
No, it
you think
isn't.
it's something going to be in Zendrick?
The Giants
Zendrick.
broke the connection.
Don't we go there every time we sleep? I mean, isn't that the story?
That's a different kind of connection. They broke the physical connection, not the mental. Like, we just visited a physical connection to Thalanis. We're on our way to a physical connection to Donvi.
What's to say that whatever he's building doesn't make a thing that can send us there or give us access?
I need to know.
Have you asked him?
Dalcor, I asked him a long time ago when we first started on this. He was wishy-washy. I'm not sure if he knows yet.
Yeah, it may be. Maybe he's done more research. Maybe he trusts us more now.
I don't trust him.
I don't like not trusting people, but I'm beginning to be inclined the same way. I feel like there's just something he's not saying.
But I don't care if he can get me to a better understanding of Dalcor.
For me, I don't know if I believed it when I said that no one else could do this. I think there probably are others that can do this, but I don't know that they would do it right and make a decision to intervene if perhaps he goes too far. I hope you
I
all
agree with you completely on that.
would.
We have more pressing concerns. If he sends us through the Manifesto and into Mabar, there's no guarantee that we'll be able to come back.
What's
Well,
our
so-
concern?
Well, good. Sorry.
Are we worried that he's going to make a thing that
It'll
causes
be the
destruction?
shattering again? Not the shattering.
Yes.
What was the name?
I
of it?
mean, does anyone not just? I mean, it would be nothing to end his life immediately. We could just be like, yeah, you don't get this thing, and stop him.
Yeah.
But
Don't
that's not a
commit.
decision we can just make for no reason.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what he's trying to make. I mean, the concept of stopping war seems bizarre and idealistic and impossible to me. So I worry about his sanity a little bit, but
One way to stop war is to make things that are literally unstoppable. He could be making something that is the ultimate power. He could fight anything and stop it.
Yeah, unfortunately, you know, the marked houses, as much as I believe that many people who are part of the houses are good and truly want to just help and use the gifts that they have to make life on Corvair better for others. There are some in my house specifically that saw an end to the war as an end to an endless supply of gold, even though if you create what the wonders that we can create and asked for nothing more than the compensation due to the time that you put in it, you could still be rich beyond your wildest dreams. People would still see that they were losing something. So
Canis lost more at Thronehold than any other of the houses.
someone somewhere somehow made the morning happen. And that caused an end to war. Is that the example that he's looking at?
It caused the end to war on purpose or by accident?
Unknown, but the end result is war came to an end. And if that is what he's using as his measurement to say something like that can end war for all time, couldn't imagine the whole world. I've never even been back into Syri since the day of mourning. I've been terrified of what I might find.
You should be. I've been there.
Not of the creatures, not of the story as I've heard. As far as I know, my parents were still in there the day that it happened. For all I know, they're still there, trapped. And that frightens me. I
As
think
for
what
the
frightens
morning,
me more is the fact that I'm too scared to try and find them.
As for the morning, I can tell you that my superior, my commander, when I was in the Dark Lanterns, he blamed House Cannith.
Even if that weren't right, I can't imagine it's far off from the truth. There were...
Who knows? I don't. I've never seen any magical artifact capable of that.
But what was responsible for the revealing of the first Warforged was a powerful machine. I put a lot of stock in machines. I don't concerned when the wrong person has their hands on the controls. I wasn't at the time. I thought that I think I fell the same way that many people in House Canada do, that there's no good or bad in the act of making something or creation. But that's not entirely true. Well, while we're on this train, does anyone want to learn a language?
You can't teach me a language. Anybody know a language I don't know?
Tinge starts speaking in halfling to the group.
Ooh, that's not on my
That's
list.
an interesting language to have learned, Tinge.
I was in a stealth unit.
Ah,
I'll do it.
infiltrating.
All I
the
picture is
Talenta
Tinge
plains.
running around the forest with a bunch of halflings and just like, what? This doesn't make any sense.
That's awesome.
Did they hide behind you?
On occasion. It's easy to hide when you have a distraction.
You are a good distraction.
How many days did you say we're going to be on this thing?
A little over a week.
Okay.
A little over 10 days.
While we're doing this, can I try and make a couple of truth serums?
Yeah. Yeah, let's get some checks.
Oh yeah. And I wonder, could I work on maybe making like healing potions?
Absolutely.
How many checks are you gonna let me have?
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. We'll say you can do 2 during this time.
Fantastic. Okay.
2 doses.
Tinge
Wow.
is just sitting in the chair staring at the door. That's it.
Every now and then, a crew person will kind of walk out, like they're on their way to the galley, and just look at you like, ah! God! Never get used to that. Just walk past you.
I guess I don't know how it works in 5e to try and craft a potion.
Oh, right. It's in Xanathar.
Need
Xanathar.
It depends upon the
kit,
potion.
don't you?
Does
Yeah,
indeed depend on
that's
the
who.
potion.
Potion of healing is herbalism kit.
Herbalism. Herb.
Okie dokie.
Herbs.
I can do that.
Gotta be good with the herbs.
Herb. There's a fucking H there.
Kay will be practicing a couple of his new spells.
I've been really wanting to get really into learning accents and being able to do different voices, because I'm sure you've all noticed by now I have 4 voices that I just use for everybody. But I've always wanted to kind of get into just as a hobby, just learn accents and a little bit of voice acting stuff. It seems really fun. I'm not gonna fucking have the time to do that though.
The key to learning voices is to do what I am always unwilling to do, and that is to just give yourself in and not care that other people are around and try it out.
Yep.
Constantly.
Yeah, definitely. It's the thing, you have to be afraid. You have to not be afraid to look like an ass, because you're gonna. Especially when you're
for me, the problem is I can do some of them, but if I hear someone else with a different accent, I try and emulate that instead.
Word.
Yeah, so when I go on business travel, a couple of years ago, I was going to England all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I would come back with a British accent.
Nice.
I pick up accents very, very fast.
Same,
Yeah,
same.
I'm a Floridian. I've picked up all kinds of accents.
Nice. Yep. Yeah. I spent 6 months in Georgia when I was 12, and I came back.
Country?
Yep. Came back with a full twang.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I meant the country of Georgia.
No, the state, the
Okay.
US
State of Georgia. Georgia.
I thought you meant country,
Georgia.
as in yes, I did in
Yeah,
fact
no.
return with a country accent.
Georgia.
Yeah,
Georgia.
except a Georgian accent is different from a Southern accent.
Yeah,
Because that's Georgia.
George. Yep.
Well, I live in Pensacola, Florida, which is right there near Alabama.
Yep, it has a lot more in common with Alabama than it does anything else.
We got a lot of Alabama accents.
I grew up in Mississippi, so I understand.
Oh yeah, there you go. Bit distance.
All right, guys. So what are you all doing during your downtime? We have Yuji making some poison successfully. A couple of you sound like you're learning a language. Anybody else?
Learning
doing some
halfling.
stuff?
Potion.
Learning halfling,
Potions,
practicing
yep.
some spells.
Okay.
I don't have the resources to spend on making second level scrolls. They're too freaking expensive.
Oh, but I would have to have all the equipment. Have bought all the stuff for it. Boo. Because it cost half of the amount that it would cost to buy it, so I'd have to have 25 gold pieces worth of stuff.
Which I'm sure you do.
Yeah, I mean, I have 38 gold, so I can subtract 25 gold from that.
Oh, don't forget
What?
your bonuses from Varius, or did you deposit
That's
that?
200
Yeah,
gold.
no.
Okay.
Yeah.
I deposited that.
Okay.
By the end of the trip, Tinge is just pacing.
Antsy. Not used to being out of the fight for this long.
He just likes to be in motion.
Is it possible to explore the rest of the train?
Yeah.
While we are riding along, can Yuji make like random trips throughout the train to try and locate any clues related to the Emerald Claw?
Remember they're not supposed to be boarding
not on there
until
yet?
Irontown.
Oh, okay. When we get to Irontown, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're more than welcome to check out the layout of the train for as long as you're allowed. It's not super full. You know, there's only ever about maybe 50, 60 passengers on it for the most part, wherever you all are at. But every now and then it fills up a little bit more, and sometimes it gets a little more empty.
All right, I must be crazy. I can't get in the next car.
Yeah.
Oh, nope, there it goes.
How'd you manage?
You gotta literally drag your token through the doorway.
Ah.
The doors are interacting. Once you're on the door, if you're zoomed in,
Ah.
when you
See,
try
I
to
see.
click and drag, it's doing something to the door instead.
Well, here. It's safe to say that during your 7 days, you've gotten pretty freaking familiar with this train. So why don't we
Yeah.
just go ahead and do this for now?
Oh, thank
There
God.
we go.
It's like it's gonna take me forever to explore this train.
Wow, it's so long.
That
So
took
many
you
cars.
a while to map out.
Yes. Yes, it did. I intend to use it over and over again, though. Like, these kind of things, once they're done, I never have to do it again. Whether or not it's this campaign, it's here now.
Yeah.
And transmogrify it into any other campaign I need to. I now have a train.
Yeah.
Every game you run from now on will have a train.
Right?
Except
So
when you
will
run
we-
have tracks like that.
This is one of the things that it's like, it's awesome that, you know, like I get paid to do this because, you know, I can literally just sit down for 2 hours, do this, and it's productive, you know?
Mhm.
So we're near the front of the train, right?
Yes. The train, this is the active lightning rail car right now. This is the active one. The
Got
one
it.
the one to the right.
That we don't have access to.
Right. I mean, you all probably have done a
Yeah,
tour
no.
at some point, you know?
Yeah.
After a whole week of the same passengers occupying their first class trailer, you've gotten acquainted with the captains, with a couple of the crew, probably acquainted with the kitchen staff, all that kind of good stuff.
This is a nice long train. Well done.
It's just a bunch of it's a bunch of pieces kind of put together. Like each one of these cars
Yeah.
is its own little map. Thank you. I have a hard time taking.
All it makes me
compliments.
think
Thank
of is Snowpiercer.
Oh
Right.
yeah, I have considered trying to come up with a role
one-shot
playing
Snowpiercer?
campaign that is set on something like Snowpiercer.
Nice.
Yeah, the entire game is on the train.
Yeah,
That would be cool.
except that the train is like 60 feet wide, and
Right.
yeah, so there's and 3 levels deep. There's lots to do, but
All right, everybody. I think this is a good spot for us to go ahead and call it a session for tonight. No big
Yep.
cliffhanger tonight, unfortunately, but next week when we return, we will be arriving in Irontown.